Hello and welcome back to this edition of Value Time. Again, your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker. Thanks so much for joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And I always like when our set gets better looking, but I also like when our set gets more educational. And now we're going to focus a little bit of time about all of the things that you can go and enjoy with lots of different events, but more importantly, about where that money goes and who and how it's helping. So I'd like to welcome in our guests today. First, we have Miss Sherry Wilmore. She is the Lip Sync Terrible One committee member, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, very good. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. I'm glad you're here. Next to her, Miss Dawn Landry. Dawn is the Lip Sync Terrible One co-chair. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. All right. And next to her, of course, Miss Ann Bates. Y'all have seen her lots of different times. American Cancer Society staff partner. Welcome and thanks for joining us, Miss Ann.
Thank you so much, Keith.
All right. And one of those times, Jen, I always like to let people know March is a big month. We see lots of different focuses, not only with American Cancer Society, but in general, focuses for so many different things. Put that first flyer up if you don't mind. Jen, I want to let people know that it is Kidney Cancer Awareness Month. It is also Myeloma Awareness Month. It's National Nutrition Month. But right now, American Cancer Society is very focused on us being aware, supportive, and knowledgeable about colorectal cancer awareness month. And so, Sherry, tell us a little bit about why that's so important and why we need to focus on this with ACS.
Well, the American Cancer Society is focusing on colorectal cancer because it's the third leading common cancer in the States and persons with diagnosis.
Okay.
In 2022, more than 151,000 people were diagnosed with this cancer, as well as over 52,000 people passed away from this disease. And so the American Cancer Society is truly want to be instrumental in assisting people in pre-screenings, getting your diagnosis so that they can eliminate this disease, because that is the American Cancer Society's focus, is eliminating diseases and these horrible deaths.
Right.
As well as the American Cancer Society is currently funding $50 million in colorectal cancer research using 67 active grants. And the American Cancer Society Action Networks advocated for change in the 2023 Medicaid program that eliminated cost sharing, and it lowered the cost for colonoscopy screenings on positive invasive testings, and it lowered the minimal age of the screening for the disease to 45. So this is to help persons who have this disease, and so you can have earlier detection, which means you have earlier detections and you have less likely chance of passing away from the disease.
So we want to really focus. It's interesting, 3 numbers stuck out to me. And I want you to know, I just used all of those statistics in a discussion for caregivers and social workers so that they knew that that's kind of where we are with the focus. 150,000 new cases. We're talking about 50,000 people, and they're dedicating $50 million to this campaign and this focus. And we're changing some of the rules and laws, right?
Yes.
When we see the need that is there, that's so very awesome to be able to see that American Cancer Society doing all this research, making the recommendations, and people following through with that.
Yes.
Right?
So you know where your money is going, and you know how your money is being used, not only in your community, but when it comes to education and advocacy, when it comes to legislation, and it comes to changing those rules that allow us to live a longer and healthier life.
Yeah, and changes those Medicaid rules and allowing, because very often we hear that, right? We hear that some of the people that have Medicaid have to wait a long time. They maybe have to jump through more hoops because of the guidelines that they do or don't have. It's wonderful to hear that we're making some headway with that, right?
Yes, it is. And it's also great that when you see that people are looking at saying where does people receive their insurance from, and going to those providers and making those changes. Because when people make those changes in their health insurance, you're more likely to go to the doctor because you have less costs, especially when you look at the growing number of increasing when you look at prices of gas and eggs recently, right? The healthcare sometimes become a back burner for a lot of people. So I'm glad that when I became a participant of the American Cancer Society, I see where my money is going. And when people see where their money is going, they give to it.
Absolutely. So Jim, put that next flyer up. March is Colorectal Awareness Month. We want to make sure that people are hearing and hearing well. There's a lot of reasons why you want to go and get screened. It's a lot more available for people to be able to do that. And so, sure, we appreciate the information about that and why it's so important to do. and the fact that we're making it easier for people to do that. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Ann, how do people go about doing that? How do people who are interested find out and go about getting those screenings and finding out where they are?
Absolutely. Regular screening for colorectal cancer can save lives. And for more information, they can go to cancer.org/get screened. Also, they could call our 1-800 number 24/7. We have information and support and resources at our 1-800-227-2345 or cancer.org.
Yeah. And again, just for people who don't have access to a computer, call that number. Give that number out one more time, Ann, if you don't mind.
1-800-227-2345.
And very easy to remember, 227-2345. Or you can go to cancer.org. Or you can go to your local library, and you can get on the internet there and find out information. That's one of the value that we have in our community, where people who don't necessarily have those easy resources, they can go and find it. If they've got the gas money, right, Michelle? If they got the gas money to get in the car and be able to go. Listen, I will tell you, I know a young lady who really needs to go and get screened for something. And she's kind of put it off because it's just too expensive to get there. And we realize that, and that's why we're trying to bring resources to people. We're trying to bring those resources in some of those mobile units and being able to do that. You know, I know some of the people in the area, Torbern Journal is one of those that are trying to bring those screenings to people and changing some of the dynamics about it not costing as much and making sure that people are going to be able to get those screenings. We're going to make a dent. We're going to make a difference for people being diagnosed, and especially with those people dying with colorectal cancer.
It was bigger than we thought it was going to be, and so this year is going to be bigger and better.
I know that's
course.
right. Very cool. Yeah. Tell us what we have to expect this year.
So this year we have so our official title is 2023 Lip Sync Terrebonne.
Okay.
Presented by Alfred and Associates.
Okay. Very good. I'm excited about them doing that.
Absolutely.
And you can see the flyer right there. Some of those wonderful people that we have. There's going to be food, drinks, and a live auction. Right,
so the people that they see up, those are our contestants this year.
Right.
I think we're going to have a great lineup.
Sure.
Of
Y'all are going to let
contestants.
Charles sing?
Well, it's lip sync, remember.
Okay.
They're not actually singing,
Okay.
they're lip singing.
Right.
So
it's
yeah,
lip sync.
Absolutely.
Because I know Charles well enough to know that we should be careful about that. Right? But again, some of the people last year, you know, we talk about Billy Stark and some of the people that really made an impact in last year's
Absolutely.
event. Y'all are really making bigger plans for this year, right?
Absolutely. So speaking of Billy Stark,
Mm-hmm.
he is. We have a live auction item that includes him in
Oh,
it.
my.
Won't give it away.
Okay. So a little Billy Stark teaser there, a live
Yes.
auction item that will include Billy Stark.
Absolutely.
Marla is fully aware. She knows what's going on, always does. But of course, Billy, most people know Billy in the area, and certainly with the energy that he brings for everything that he does. And that includes raising money.
Absolutely.
And he's really good about doing that, especially for something as close to he and his family's heart like cancer is. And so that's really, really exciting. So let's talk about the day and where and how people can get tickets.
So it is this Friday, March 31st.
Right.
And it's 6 to 10. We have a whole lineup.
And we're excited about it. Again, there's the flyer. It is going to be on March 31st, 6 to 10. It is called Lip Sync Terrebonne. It's 2023 Lip Sync Terrebonne. And the proceeds will go to the American Cancer Society and food, drinks, and this live auction with a Billy Stark teaser. A Billy Stark teaser. Let's talk about where it's going to take place.
It is at the Municipal Auditorium.
Right.
There's still tickets available and sponsorships. They can purchase tables to sponsor a table.
Okay.
They go to Eventbrite or Lip Sync Terrebonne on Facebook. There's a QR code. They can go click on the QR code and buy tickets right there off the Eventbrite or, like I said, our Facebook page, Lip Sync Terrebonne.
Lip Sync Terrebonne. And how much does it cost? Does it cost per table?
We have different tiers,
Okay.
different tables. so to buy a whole table is $1,000.
$1,000 for a table, right?
500 for half a table, but there's also individual tickets. So individual tickets are 75 and couple tickets are 125.
75 couples, 125. What a bargain, right? Come
Absolutely.
individually for 75, bring your significant other for 125. Or if you want to, just get a half table. I mean, it's just $500. All the proceeds go to the American Cancer Society. Very, very important and worthwhile, as we're going to be able to focus on screenings and be part of this $50 million that American Cancer Society is spending for colorectal screenings. And it's always so very important that we try to raise money and that money stay in our area to help the people here, right?
Absolutely. Well, there's so many partnerships within our community for people that if they need, like you were talking about, need a ride to their treatment or some, other resources, we encourage them to call our 1-800 number if they, or speak to their, cancer facility, the
Right.
social worker there
Right.
about what the need is. So absolutely, you're 100%.
Yeah, and those patient navigators here, wherever they are, even in our area, whether you're in Houma or Thibodeau, it doesn't really matter where you are, talk to those navigators. Let them know you're concerned. They want to know, and they want to make sure that we can get people to their treatment. Quite frankly, we want to get the screenings because we want to make sure that we get early detection. If we're getting early detection and those people need some treatment, we want to get them there. We want to make it as painless as possible. Cancer diagnosis is bad enough, right?
Absolutely.
We hear the big C, and very often we have trouble hearing anything else after that. It's why it's so important to partner when we have people that can help. And so American Cancer Society does a wonderful job of doing that. We're really glad. So, Ann, let's give out those two pieces of information one more time.
Absolutely.
With the phone number and the
We're
email.
open 24/7. We have cancer information specialists there available at our 1-800 number at 1-800-227-2345 or on our website at cancer.org. That you can find it. There's also the live chat option for those that are, like to use the computer more. So absolutely, they're all the time, 365 days a year.
And all of that leads right into what's very important, which is Relay for Life. Relay for Life, which is going to take place, if you wouldn't mind putting that up, Jen, on April 22nd, 2023. It's going to start in the afternoon at 3 p.m., and we'll have a lot more information about that. It's at the Barry P. Bonvillain Civic Center, and the theme this year is Together We Will Survive. And we certainly want people to be able to go and sign up. You can go to relayforlife.com/Terrebonne, and you can sign up, get your teams ready, and get lots of information. So we want to be able to encourage that, right?
Absolutely. We have our next team social, which will be this coming Tuesday, April 4th. So we encourage you to go to our website to learn more about it.